Hi, everybody. How's everyone this week? My name is leehonish. It is June the 2nd. It's 9:11 a.m. And why aren't you on your coaching call? I'm just saying it if you're watching this on video. Where are you? This week, we are going to really do a deeper dive and break it down point by point on scripting, going to the door, and also what you should say on the street, how to engage people, how to use the tools that we provide for you so that you can get a listing. And theoretically, I'm going to send this audio transcript off to go be turned into a transcription. I think I'm allowed to, I can do that. There's a service for it, I'm sure. Someone will do it. And I will break it down script by script. So that's been requested. I don't think it's ever been done script by script. So let's talk about it from the very beginning again, shall we? I'm going to turn off my video and switch over to a screen share and share my screen with you. Everybody's here. I appreciate everyone being here. I've got all my participants. I can see them. I can read your chats whenever you want. You're at the Home Advocates website. All you have to do is Google or type in the words Home Advocates. With that said, I want to make sure everybody has all of my information because I don't want anybody to feel like they're not able to contact us, even though there's a contact form and an 800 number, an email address, etc. I want you to be able to get a hold of me. We're kind of going through a transitional period at Home Advocates right now. So first and foremost, my personal email addresses, and there are two of them, and feel free to use both. lee@honish.io and leehonish@yahoo.com. My text, yes, that's the same as my cell. Don't call my cell because it'll tell you to text me, 858-663-2537. If I have never received a text from you before as a student, please tell me who you are. And of course, all you have to do, if you guys forget any of this, student or not, just open up your phone, open up a browser, use the browser page, type in two words, Home Advocates with an S. They'll show up right on the main website. Cool. Let's go through it by the numbers. Again, just click on Home Advocates Coaching, and that will take you straight into the coaching website. Theoretically, if you have registered and you are online, you should see a little icon for yourself on the right side and click on your library, and you will have three items in your library. The original videos, the Platinum group, which really never got used, to be perfectly honest, because we do 3 coaching calls per week and everybody can sort of air out what they want. Plus, we're extremely approachable. We're not, I'm going to keep saying it, especially to those of you that don't ever kind of make the calls. We're not like other coaching groups. I'm a regular person. You actually have my cell phone. I don't live in an ivory tower. And I think that's what I enjoy most about the program. And then third is the hub. And so there are a couple of items that we need to discuss. So let's start with door scripts, right? When you go and do a tagging session, always make sure that you're using the most up-to-date call center number. We announce them if we change them. The current one, right, is 866-602-2335. Please, unless you're just checking it for the sake of checking it, make it fast and efficient. We as a company pay for that service, and it's the number of minutes on there. Always remember to, on your form, right? On your form, make sure to get a clear, legible last name when you handwrite it, and a clear, legible tracking number with your initials in front of it. Simple as that. And as for what we're talking about today, because Thursday is conversion, we're talking about first appointments. Item 12, if you click on it, is your first appointment package. Okay. And I'm going to do these document by document. The first is what we recommend that you take on your appointment. Wow, there's yesterday. Please don't take this. I actually thought about actually writing this on this form. I think you should take the notice of default. If it's a notice of sale, an auction date, a list pendants, and I've recommended to some of you even HOAs if they have super liens, right? Just ask your title rep, or for those on the East Coast, your attorney, or if you can pull it off the MLS, fantastic. It's about as simple as I can make it on that topic. The next is the alternatives to foreclosure. The next one is a disclosure. And I think this is important. Make sure it has your information, your MLS or CAR or whatever state designation term you guys want to use. But this is your disclosure statement that you are an advocate working as a realtor working as an advocate. And the third is a basic introduction letter. Your front door should be very basic. And I'm sure that Michelle, as well as many people on here, can chime in and correct me. You will knock on the door, and so let's start right there. This is me being a marketing guy. There are only two things that are going to happen at the door. Literally only two things that are going to happen at the door. What's that? I want the home advocate site. There are only two things that are going to happen at the door. They will answer or they won't answer. Got it? So let's take care of the first question is, what do we do if they don't answer? Please take additional tags with you on your first appointment. If they don't answer the door, don't get frustrated. Don't call them. Nobody wants to be called, right? Every banker knows this, and most of you in real estate should know this. People don't like cold calls. They don't want to be qualified to begin with. So when you go to the front door, take an extra tag just to be safe. If they don't answer, tag it again. Simple. Use the call center. Forgive my sinus infection. All right. The second is they'll answer the door. Okay. You will introduce yourself. You will tell them you're with Home Advocates. You are there to deliver information that might be vital or helpful because it is publicly documented that they've missed a payment. More than likely, they will ask you, what did you bring? Or they will tell you they have it handled already. And feel free, anybody, to correct me, because I'm kind of doing this like an A-B chart that I can literally break down later into a script. But there's only two things that are going to happen. Hi, my name's leehonish. I'm with Home Advocates. I'm here to deliver information that I believe would be helpful. It's publicly noted that you have not been able to make your payment, and I just wanted to give you your alternatives to foreclosure. Now, you could put any spin you want on that icebreaker. Hi, my name's Lee. I'm a homeowner advocate. I'm here to deliver your information. You can cut to the chase. But there are basically two responses, three. There are three responses that will happen. Okay, just give it to me. Number two, I've got it handled. Or number three, no, that's not correct. Again, this is why you bring a copy of the public notice, which also creates a bonding and a process with the client itself. Any questions right there from the room? Handled, working on it with the bank. Yeah, right. Handled. So let's take them in, or let's do Don's first. Handled, working with the bank. Great. How is it handled, sir? Because the bank is just trying to collect money, right? These aren't difficult script downs. If you give me just a few moments, can I read these alternatives to foreclosure to you, then give you the information? How do you get a copy of the public notice from your data list? Good question, William. What you want to do is contact your title company. And if you don't have one, I can refer one to you. Generally speaking, title companies have them. I don't know in Vegas if your MLS has it. There are a couple of states where you can get them straight off the MLS. But for you, I think you have to use a title company. And if you don't have someone, let me know and I'll refer you to a title. Just ask your title rep. They'll be able to get it. It's public data. So, and you don't really have to take it. My favorite line usually in this moment is, oh, it's already cleared up. So to confirm what my former business partner, David Bartels, would say, oh, now I have a problem. We really need to call the bank because I wouldn't be here unless there was a situation. Again, it's about relationship building more than it's about trying to close them. And this is where I differ from everybody else. After I get the chance to read the alternatives to foreclosure, let's go back to this. Before I get the chance to, I want a relationship build, period. I mean, that's ultimately my goal. I assume that they're not going to want my assistance, period. I mean, the fact that they'll talk to the bank long before they talk to you is completely ludicrous. I mean, it should be the most logical thing on the planet. That's a smart move, Lori. Take a borrower authorization form pre-filled out with their loan info. Assume the sale. Yeah, I agree with that. Michelle, usually the county clerk of court and the county public records website have all the information you can research yourself. There you go. Both good tips. I'm going to download this one. Yeah, scan it for viruses. Just open it. All right. Your goal is to read this. And I think everybody gets hung up, right? This is a pre-changeable form. You can put your logo here or you can use the Home Advocates logo here. Again, depending on your state and your disclosures, make sure to put all your information in before you actually print it out. It's completely able for you to update that bottom piece. All right, so you really want to get just into the dialogue of, I want to just ask you if you know your 9 alternatives to foreclosure. Number 1 is do nothing, which unbelievably a lot of people do. Number 2 is pay off and refinance. I used to make jokes in my webinar and live events about this particular topic. Do you have any money? Like, are you having any income? Is that a thing? Because if you're going to pay off or refinance, you either need money coming in or or have money, which generally speaking, nobody does. And since we're talking about 3 million people in the United States, it's going to be a little interesting. Number 3 is reinstatement, which means pay it current with all the fees, etc. Again, see item 2. Number 4 is loan modification. Banks are currently not doing loan mods. And the great rumor of the 40-year FHFA federal loan mod is not real. We got the White House report last week, and they will not be using a loan mod. The government actually believes that to create more housing, there should be some foreclosures. So that's pretty interesting to me. Number 5, forbearance. Well, everybody did those. You only get one in a lifetime. You've already defaulted on the loan once. Number 6 is a partial claim. That's a loan in the second position, right? Again, where are you going to get a lender to give you money when you're in default? I guess they exist at 10 or 15% or 20%, I suppose. And I've seen those in a lot of these weird short sale situations where people take out hard money, second and third lien, just crazy arm breaker type loans. I didn't really know that they were out there. I didn't know. But there are private parties that will lend money to people if you've got equity. I suppose. There's deed in lieu of foreclosure, which is no different than an actual foreclosure. You're just basically signing it back over to the bank, tossing them the keys, and you get the word foreclosure on your credit. Very simple. Number 8 is bankruptcy. Do not have a debate about bankruptcy. We have attorneys available. We can get referrals to attorneys in your state. If they want to have a discussion about it, I would much rather them talk to a real estate attorney than just a regular attorney. It is my experience, and since I'm recording, I'll be fastidious about what I say. It is my experience that attorneys will make promises that are not legal, but they will put their money into a bankruptcy account and actually label the files as bankruptcies. The reality is, I believe, right, that everybody thinks they can get a Chapter 13. I don't know too many people who've gotten a Chapter 13. In fact, it's a very small percentage. What actually happens is a Chapter 7. In a Chapter 7, you don't get to keep the house. Okay? So it's important that you don't get into this debate. You can refer them to somebody who's qualified, no matter what state you're in. Don't ever get into a bad move, especially those in Florida and New York, where it's all attorneys. And number 9 is selling the property. So about a month ago, I think Tina Herman's client, she wanted to do a loan mod, right? Well, she was actually, what we found out was she was actually in a loan mod, but she wanted a new loan mod and had that discussion with the bank. She's gotten really scared. Okay. When I had that discussion with her, it was important for me to state to her, right? So my question is always the same at this point. Do you have any idea of what you want to do from this list? These are your options with the number of payments you've missed. Do you have any idea of what you want to do? I want a loan mod. Right, whatever. Generally speaking, everybody's in the past thinking they can get a loan mod or whatever. Okay, we can give you information and help provide that through home advocates, but you're also aware that you have a lot of equity. I would say that if you guys actually went to the house, and I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks, I don't think it's a bad idea to do a desktop appraisal of the property and actually show them the amount of equity. That's just me. I mean, there are script downs for each of these, and we've documented them forever. But the reality is, I would just say yes. Let me catch up on these, Miles. Lee, the way I get to read the alternatives to foreclosure, when they say I'm talking with the bank, I hold out the 9 alternatives to foreclosure and ask them which one of these 9 to avoid foreclosure are you working on. They usually say something like, there is 9. That's when I get to review or educate them. I like that line a lot. That's a really good line. So which one of these are you doing with the bank? I didn't even know I had 9 options. Yeah, well, of course. Can I read them to you? Can we talk about these? I always think though at this point it's good to give them a beginning and end point. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat what I'm about to say. I want you guys to get the sale. Okay, 8 out of 10 people you meet are going to transfer title. And if you don't get that listing and it goes to foreclosure, right? That's on you for not following up, in my opinion. That's a fail on your part. And that's just me being an aggressive coach. The reality is, if you meet 10 people, 8 people are transferring title, period. Period. That's just reality. And if it's one of your clients, then you guys need to be on it. Michelle, many people file bankruptcy and don't realize that what it entails. I agree. They realize that they have to pay money to file bankruptcy. A bankruptcy attorney once told me only about 15% of those bankruptcies actually get discharged. Agreed. Many are dismissed long before that. If you guys really want to watch a good piece, there's a 60-minute piece on chapter 13 and sort of what during the Obama administration occurred with something called cram down theory, where they tried to work with the people in 2007. But you can find that on YouTube. People think that the word bankruptcy lets you keep your stuff. It does. Chapter 13 you do. Chapter 7 you don't. I reassure them, yes, there are 9. The bank may, this is from Miles. I reassure them, yes, there are 9. The bank may only give you 2 of them. Do you want to hear the other 7? I like that line too. Again, for me, it's a starting point. And my experience at the door is always, and even doing Zoom calls is always the same. Well, I want some kind of deal with the bank, right? Doesn't matter what it is. They believe, I've constantly referred to the pixie dust movement of I want to I want a loan mod, I wanted this, I want to win the lottery. It doesn't really matter what they say. Okay, so our starting point is your XYZ, your widget, if that makes sense. So you want to get a loan mod, great. Have you talked to the bank? Do you have any income? I mean, they're real. Think of it like a loan. A loan modification is just like a loan. If they don't have income, and again, I don't think any of that matters because all of these people have equity, and a bank's just not going to do this deal. They're just not. They can foreclose and be whole. Lori, definitely need a workable rebuttal to those who say have an attorney. Well, there is tactical, ethical, but effective. They do not have the info they need to make an educated decision. All right, so let's talk about the attorney move, right? Oh, I'm already working on it with an attorney. Oh, cool, you're filing bankruptcy. When will you be selling the house? That's what I would say. I wouldn't even bat an eye. We've talked about this on other calls. I wouldn't even bat an eye. Literally, I wouldn't bat an eye. Oh, your attorney didn't tell you that? Are you trying to do a chapter 13? Well, no, I've got an attorney negotiating with the bank. You do? That's interesting. I mean, that's really interesting. Did you pay them any money up front? Now I'm double worried. I'll use a David Bartel's line right here. Now I'm doubly worried. Attorneys get away with too much during these markets, legitimately. If you want to keep it simple, all you have to do is say, oh, you've hired an attorney, say you're filing bankruptcy. I completely understand. I'm just here to deliver the information. Look, you guys are afraid to play the card because when you hear the word attorney, you flip out. 90% of the real estate agents I've worked with over the past, 14 years, the minute they hear the word attorney, well, they must know more than me. They don't know crap. Attorneys know about the law. The law has nothing to do with this process. The number of actual real estate attorneys in the United States is like being David Copperfield or Chris Angel, for God's sakes. Like they're a snowflake. They are completely unique. Call them on it. Cool. You're filing bankruptcy. I didn't say that. Well, then what did you hire an attorney for? Is the script down that hard? But if you want to be more tactful, just say, okay, great. You're filing bankruptcy. I completely understand. Is it okay if I follow up with you? Then put them on a list and follow up with them. Does that cover it for everybody on the attorney script down? On the attorney comment, I say, great. So does the attorney specialize in foreclosure prevention? That's really politically correct. That's really politically correct. I think you can be a little more direct, Miles, but you're such a nice guy. I kind of get that. For me, it would be very hard. Oh, you're going to file bankruptcy. I completely understand. Can I follow up? At that point, I would just do the follow up game. Because, yes, the one thing you should be afraid of that is very much a thing with attorneys, if they think you're screwing with their meal ticket, they will definitely turn around and screw with you. All attorneys have specialties. What's his? I like that, Miles. Cool. He specializes in real estate and foreclosure prevention. Awesome. Cool. Is it okay if I follow up? They know nothing about the sale of the property. That includes probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. I agree. It is so rare to find state by state actual real estate attorneys, um, that it's almost ridiculous. But general attorneys always get involved in this market, always. And you're going to hear this comment a lot. Oh, I've already got an attorney working on it. Okay, you're filing bankruptcy. Is it okay if I follow up with you? That's it. Peace out. And they're not going to research you. They're going to research home advocates. And I've already built my reputation on this stuff. Let me tell you how many attorneys I've dealt with or talked to in my lifetime. What's the next big one? Loan mods? Loan mods don't exist right now. They just don't. If that property has equity, there's no loan mod. There's simply no loan mod. And the government is taking the FHFA 40-year off the table. It does not exist. That was a complete myth. We literally spent the better part of the year hearing the rumor of a 40-year loan mod that the government was going to fix everything, until it was that we needed more homes to be affordable. And the only way you're going to get affordable homes is by having foreclosures. You need inventory. Best way to get 3 million properties online is to let the banks do what they got to do. I would even assume quietly you would do backdoor deals with banks and give them incentives to foreclose. But we'll never know that. I'm sure we'll leak documents later on the topic, but you're not going to know up front. That's reality of where we're at. There are no loan mods. Everybody's already done their forbearance agreement, and I don't know what's going to happen to the millions. There are literally 1 million people who have not paid back their forbearance agreement, so they're technically in default. There's a lot of people here that are about to be foreclosed upon in the next 12 months. So going out and aggressively tagging. So I say the same thing, and that's why I keep playing the video that we have. And my comment is always the same. By the way, if you haven't seen the video that we constantly talk about, right? This one on the site right here, feel free to watch it at your leisure. I've played it millions of times. He just literally jumped into it. And I appreciate that. Just do it. I tell everybody, go screw up your first appointment and get it over with. It's like jumping into the deep end of the swimming pool. Just go on the appointment and do exactly what I say. And whatever they say, okay, at the very end of it, okay, ask them one question. We call it the $1 million closing line. What did the bank do to you? Feel free to write that down if you are not using it. What did the bank do to you? The idea is to get more time with the client and to increase time on site, right? So the longer you spend, the more likely you will have to connect with the individual. Make sense? Which takes us to your actual close. I believe it's on your second appointment. Go back, ask if you can follow up. If they don't want you to follow up, put them on an email list or a text list or drop them a call in a week or two. Generally speaking, everybody gets permission to meet with them. And when you go meet with them the second time, provide them the information they want. And if they want something exotic, okay, certainly you can send the request directly to the company. But I'll go one easier. Feel free you can go into the archives. I don't think these have been downloaded by mistake by someone and or erased. I got to do something different than a Google Cloud. Everything is here for whatever questions they have. There are different documents for all of that. Okay? You can put your information on it. The trick is to follow up. You'll see over on the right-hand side of the screen all the number of documents that we actually have and the folders we have available for you with that documentation. It is my goal for the upgrade that's happening, I hope, over the weekend, and the rollout for the general public, because the general public's not getting any of this stuff. They're going to get a first appointment package. They're going to get a basic set of information for their second appointments. It's as simple as that. I'm just helping you guys out so you have more information in the platinum group, and that's why I made this platinum group a little bit more interesting than anything else. Just ask them what the bank did to you. Can I give you more information about loan mods? Can I schedule time with a former banker and have a discussion? Again, being in the platinum group, you're allowed to do that. Oh my gosh, who's that, right? Which takes us to our second topic of whatever it takes to get the second appointment, get the second appointment. You're really not going to close on the first appointment. I'm not saying they don't exist. They do quite a bit. I'm just saying that you should be more aware of first appointments leading to a second appointment. Simple as that. Yes, Catherine, you raised your hand. First. And while we're talking about that, everything leads to that second appointment. And the second appointment is what I care about. Second appointment is all I care about. Because I'm going to bring him back the information. Do you have any idea what you're going to do? Yeah, I'm going to try for the loan mod, right? So again, very simple conversion. What's your plan B? And since you guys have requested scripts, I'm recording all this so that I can turn this into scripts for all of you so you have them. I don't think they're that difficult, but that's just me. I'm not a huge fan per se, but certainly I can make an effort to get you guys some general scripts put in so that you're a little more comfortable at the front door. I think that's the feel. When will the scripts be ready? I'll try to get them done this weekend. I have a lot to do, and my sinus infection's slowing me down a little bit. But for you, William, because you need to go tag, and I say this to everyone, cool, I get that you want scripts and you want follow-ups, right? Like, are you tagging? Start with tagging. Go on your first appointment, read the 9 alternatives, and honestly, go mess it up. Enjoy messing it up. Kind of relish it, in my opinion. I think it's kind of fun, actually. At the end of it, it is about getting to plan B, right? So once you get to, I want to be your plan B, I've used all the analogies for that. Understand that you want to get a loan mod, but you understand you have equity, right? Like you get that. You need to understand that, homeowner. That's really the message you're trying to convey. And that sale is one of those options. As simple as I can make it. Which takes us to what you should be doing while you're walking around on the street. I don't know how many times it happens in your day. I don't actually get to leave the office that often. But when I am out and I am engaging in the public and I am talking to other humans, I am waiting for somebody to ask me what it is that I do. That's a big deal. Sorry. Need more water. I'm choking on my sinuses. I want to engage, and when people engage with me, or I engage with people, or I go to out at night, or whatever it is, and somebody asks me what it is that I do, I tell them the same thing. I fix broken real estate. I'm sorry, what did you say? I fix broken real estate. I'm a homeowner advocate. I work in real estate, but I work to try to fix real estate. Do you have your phone handy? Just type in the words home advocates. Any of you can do this. And if you've never tested this because you're unsure of it, I don't even care what browser you use. I don't care what system you use. I don't care if you do it on Yahoo or iCloud. I'm it will always be the same. There you are. It will always be the same, except for the people who buy ads above you. But yeah, I'm line one. I'm always line one. Doesn't get any better than that for all of you. Got it? That's the biggest connection you can have at that moment. It really is. The only people who beat me are people who pay for their ads. I beat government organizations. I kind of like the Yahoo setup. Kind of nice. So there you go. Those are your basic scripting. But my answer to everybody is don't overthink it. Go and do it. That would probably be my best perspective for everybody. Don't do analysis of paralysis.